Hi guys, welcome to today's Pilates class. We're going to start on the floor and let's turn our body so that the feet are on one end. If you have a foam roller, this would be a great time to have it towards the end of your mat. Take an inhale. Now as you exhale, begin rolling down. We're going to just start with your abdominals rolling you down, controlling. The knees are squeezing together so the inner thighs are active. Take an inhale. Now as you exhale, we'll take a full body stretch. Breathe in, stretch that body. Stretch through the fingers, stretch through the toes. Now you can start with your feet on the floor or your feet on that foam roller. So take an inhale. As you exhale, curl your low back, push your hips up, and then lower down your spine. Breathe in and exhale. Beautiful. What we're going to do is focus on different cues. The mind can usually only hang on to one conscious cue. So we're going to try to think about right now one vertebra at a time. Each bone, each vertebra feels the floor before the next one comes down. And you do that with your with your abdominals. You're going to feel your pubic bone pull towards your navel. The low back touches the floor. And then it peels up till you get to about your shoulder blades. Exhale down. And then you're going to notice that your glutes and your hamstrings are working. That if you point the ball of the foot towards the floor, towards the roller, you get more hamstring. Just a gentle, even pressure through the front of the foot, back of the foot. As you exhale, relax any muscles near the jaw. The neck is also, there's some relaxation. In other words, there's a space underneath the neck to the floor. All right, we're gonna do one more and then we hold. So take an inhale and exhale, push the low back down before you peel it up. Now at the top, this is a great place just to check. Are you even in your pelvis? You can usually see or feel, put your hands on your hip bones. Now, if you are feeling good here, we're going to add a pulse in this position. Drop your hips only a couple inches and lift up. Good. Breathe in and out and feel your glutes and your hamstrings more than your low back. So you're not overarching your back towards the sky. It's not about how high you get. We're working the glutes and the hamstrings here. Now, small variation, touch the knees together. And I know you can't see that in the video, but your knees are touching now as if you have a little piece of paper between your knees, a stamp. Now, you're going to do one more variation. Open up the knees a little wider than the ankles. Yeah, and it's a wide V or a hamstring wide glutes. Good. 5. Neck is soft. There's no tension in the hands. Now let the knees go over the heels again. Roll one vertebra at a time. Even the low back gets attention, or especially the low back. All right, once you're down in the sacrum, take a hand to each foot. Happy baby. Open the knees, pull them down, and good. Now this is a great opportunity to stretch a toe or two. So I like to put my first finger between the big toe and the second, and the pinky finger between the pinky toe and the third. So those are two tendency areas that can get tight in the body. So I'm opening up those toes. We need those for balance. We need those for joint preservation. Breathe in. Now, as you're ready, exhale your feet to the roller. Now this time, curl up a vertebra at a time like you did before. Check that your hips are level. If you care to add on, now you can also just stay with your double bridge. So this is an optional add-on. And breathe in. This is like if you order a burrito and they say, do you want red sauce or green sauce or no sauce? So you can leave it out and do your normal bridge. And you're going to add on, though, the point and the flex. The point and the flex. So that's a nice little stretch component and neuroplasty for your brain. We're keeping the brain healthy, too. Now let your right foot back on the foam roller. I like to take a moment to readjust everything before resetting, before adding the other leg. Now, point and go up, and notice your hamstring flexibility will let you know how far up you should go because that will warm up and change during the class. Breathe in, 5. There's a space underneath your neck. 6. And for me, the stretch gets a little bigger now that my body's warming up. So just notice how you feel. Breathe in, jaw soft, point, flex. Now we're gonna let the feet back on. Both feet are on the foam roller. There's a reset moment of readjustment into neutral. Lower your spine. This time, right ankle to left thigh. Reach your hands to the window and add a little rock. If you care to, add some ankle roll and toe movements. If that distracts you from your main goal, which is to get that hip, just stick with the hip stretch. I like to even move my head a little right and left to make sure I don't have any excess tension in the neck, in the jaw. Inhale. Exhale, go to the other one, ankle to thigh. Reach your hands through the window. Catch your thigh or your shin. If you care to add on some ankle movements, you can. I like to add on a rock as well in the hips. That looks really good, guys. And for one trick is you're trying to use your bicep to get a deeper stretch, but not your neck. So you're not trying to pull your neck into an awkward place, but you might be using your biceps, not your upper trapezius, to pull the thighs in closer. Breathe in, inhale. And now you're doing great. We're gonna let the feet back onto the foam roller. Now curl your spine up and down 3 times. So again, your body's getting warmer. You may notice that your flexibility, your ability is better now than the first one. Now you can keep doing this, but if you would like, lift up your right foot, point the toes, drop your hips to the floor, and then up. Now drop your hips to the floor, and then up. Drop your hips to the floor. Now see if you can add that curling with your spine. It's going to be a lot harder. Point through the top leg. Now when you're ready on the 10th, let that foot down onto the roller, realign your body, lift up the other leg and point your toes. Drop your hips to the floor and go up. Drop your hips to the floor. Good. So this one is down. You'll touch the floor with your sacrum. 5. Notice how that makes this a little harder, and the body tends to cut off ranges of motion sometimes because it's really good at preserving energy. 9, 10. Now when you're ready, that foot comes back onto the roller. Lower your spine down. Take your hands between your knees. So this time I have bound angle. This is a nice place to use your elbows to wedge the inner thighs more open. Just see if that works for you. You can use your elbow to wedge the inner thigh. This is the pectineus. Now I'm going to give a bonus stretch as an option. So notice how your feet are kind of low here. If you want to add on, you can do, it's a modified sleeping yogi. So now I have my feet closer to over my sternum. Watch this, I'm going to put one hand through, and just see, if it's not for you, do the other stretch, but this will get your low back a little bit more. And yes, it will feel a little different. Nice. Okay, some of you already found out you can rock here. Good. You could rock here. And that's a low back stretch. So if you know your low back gets towards lordosis or overextension, this one's going to feel nice. Breathe in. Now lower that back down. It's a little easier to low down, isn't it? Now we're going to let the feet on the roller again. Curl up. Let your right leg up and you're going to pull your toes back. So this does 2 things. It stretches the back line and it activates the tibialis anterior. Lower your hips all the way down. You feel the floor. And then lift up. Now lower and lift. You have a great view of your feet, your foot. See if you can spread out the toes. There's space between each toe, and especially the big toe to 2nd and the pinky toe to 4th. What is that doing? It's creating some exercise for our arches. It's helping us keep the feet healthy. Now lower the right foot down onto the roller, lift up the left leg, pull your toes back. Now you can see that, what's happening, and that visual, keep going up and down, that visual can help train the body. Really spread out the pinky toe from the fourth. Spread the big toe from the second. Spread all the toes wide. You're activating your arches right now, and that helps with keeping the healthy trampolines on your arch on your feet so that the inner knee doesn't get stressed with the collapsed arch, so that the hips and low back get support, because the feet are like the foundation of your house. The foundation will affect the rest of your house. Okay, on the last one, let your feet down on the roller, lower your spine. Now this one is right leg up. Now I want you to be gentle. If you have any kind of injury around the sit bone, you're going to probably do a happy baby instead. But if you want to add on, one leg just went long on the foam roller or the floor, and one leg went up. Now let's play around with this top ankle. I like to add both ankles. I just fire that way. So if you want to do both ankles in a circle, go for it. If you need to just give it your top foot, then, but because our foot's on the roller for some of us, that ankle has plenty of room. So both ankles have plenty of room. Breathe in, pull your toes back. That's also strengthening this side of your shin, so you can help get shin splints, and you can help prevent shuffling. It's really good if you walk up hills or stairs or change surfaces in the house. Okay, let's do the other side. Take your leg up. Now, your hands can help. Remember, if you have any injuries in the sit bones, you might change this up. You're not going to force a stretch in an injured place, especially that sit bone area. Ischial tuberosity, that biceps femoris, is a hard injury to have. So if you are feeling fine, no injury there, pull it in closer. Psoas is getting a stretch, toes and ankles. So all this is really good for the other joints in the body. When your ankles have flexibility, there's less likelihood of low back pain. When your ankles are really tight, there is a higher chance that you're going to have low back pain. So isn't it neat how everything's related? So pull the toes back, breathe in, the back of your legs getting a stretch. 5, 4, 3, feel that wonderful stretch. 2, and then 1. Now take a full body stretch, reach your arms, reach your legs. We're going to let our hands come down by our hips, so by the floor, on the floor, like a frame. Micro bend the knees, and you're going to lift up. Now you can do this on the floor, you can do this on a foam roller, you could even do this on a yoga block. You just are lifting up your hips with some bend in your knees. So it's a different angle than what we worked earlier. Activate the inner ankle or inner calf onto the foam roller or the floor and lift and lift. Good. Now we're going to deliberately try to touch the feet together and the knees or thighs or whatever part of your leg touches. We're built all a little differently. So you're really working the inner thigh. You're working the inner thighs to keep this close. Lift up, keep the legs close, and lift. So you have a little bit more activation happening in the midline. Ah, and up, and exhale, and up, and exhale, and up. Now we're going to open up the legs wider than our hips. So this is a little challenge. You're wider. So let's say I've got 1.5 feet here. Lift up. I'm wide in the legs. Yes, wider in the legs. Good. Try it. Exhale. 3. Remember, you can always default to another position if a position doesn't serve you. Since we're all built a little different, we've all had different experiences in our life, you find what's good for you. But in general, most of us will want a soft knee when we lift up, and we won't want to go so high that our low back feels tension. Your glutes and hamstrings working. All right, now we're going to go back to that narrow position. Feet touch, legs touch. Lift up and hold. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, jaw soft. 7, 8, 9, lower. And you're trying not to collapse. You're trying to lower with control. Open up to a little wider position here. Get ready. Lift up, hold. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower. Now put your feet right in line with your own hips. So let's just call it neutral. Get ready. Up. So you're up in the air. 10, a soft knee. 9, 8, you're doing great. 7, jaw soft, neck soft. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, bring those legs into your belly. Now, if you can tolerate your hands on your shins, if your knees are fine with that, do that. If you need a modification, wrap your hands underneath your thighs and do that. Breathe in, the legs have